Hey guys, it's Jay. Jay loves film. And today I want to talk about Poor Thing. It came out last year, but I was able to recently view it. I know it got some awards during award season, and I hadn't known too much about the film. I will be talking about some of the main themes of the film, so spoiler warning now. To start, the film is essentially about Bella Baxter, who is technically a sort of Frankenstein creature by Dr. Godwin Baxter. To fully clarify, she was created from a woman who attempted to end her life, who was also expecting. He used the brain of the unborn child and placed it into the woman's body. So essentially, Bella is almost like a toddler or infant brain in an adult woman's body. The scientist hires one of his students to focus on her development, Max. He becomes fond of her, and Dr. Baxter agrees to the marrying. As Bella begins to learn more about the world and herself, I guess you could say, she desires to see the world and agrees to do so with Duncan Weber, a lawyer who I believe was originally supposed to organize the marriage contract, originally for Max and Bella. As they go off and explore, she meets other people and learns more about life. Through the journey, Duncan attempts to limit her choice in life. By the end, she becomes more of her own being who gets to decide who she would like to be. This was a short description because a lot more occurs throughout. To break down some of the characters, one particular is Dr. Baxter, who tries to be an emotionless, data oriented person. This is partially due to help him being objective in his experience, and he also has quite an abusive childhood, in which his father used him as an experiment. Thus, throughout the film, he is sort of a parental figure to Bella, who originally looks after her, but wants to view Bella as only an experiment, potentially just as his father did to him. He fails at this as when she desires more opportunities in life, he realizes he can't control her and he can't hold her back and eventually allows her to do so. As Bella decides she wants to learn more about life and to see the world, Duncan immediately decides to take advantage of her naiveness and offers her the opportunity. He attempts to manipulate her in believing that he's helping her receive freedom that she currently doesn't have. When she acts out, he limits her actions and becomes annoyed when he can't control her, especially when she becomes intimate with various people. Max, for the most part, while originally tries to control Bella, lets the idea go and supports most of her decisions. And then there's Alfie, who's the husband of the woman who attempted her life, so essentially Bella's body, or whose body that Bella's brain is in. He mainly attempts to control Bella through suppression and violence, which gives insight into what the original woman had to deal with. Almost all of the characters at some point impose their opinions on Bella. Overall, it's definitely an odd film, borderlines a fever dream at moments. It occasionally uses what appears to be a fish islands, which gives the film a whimsical, distorted imagery. The colors originally start out black and white, but begin to stand out dramatically, bright and vibrant throughout the film, mostly after Bella becomes more enlightened in a way. Some of the things I noted was that it was labeled a comedy and drama, but I think it stayed mostly a drama, but it does have comedic moments. Some of the film's display looks a bit similar to a stage play, which I thought was really interesting. Other things I considered was how the aspect of her having a child's brain played into the film. Considering when Alfie has her return with him, wouldn't she technically be his daughter? At least her brain would be, but not necessarily her body. I guess it wouldn't be a point for him to consider that, but the dynamic of that connection is completely off. Another consideration is that a huge chunk of the film is how she becomes interested in intimacy. Originally, with Duncan, and then when she seeks employment at a place in which she uses her body to make money, for a lack of a better phrase. There are so many scenes that show this, and if you consider the idea that she has an underdeveloped brain, it could be potentially be quite off-putting for some to view. I know there was some criticism of this, which I can understand, since at first I wonder, is this the only aspect that she is given the ability to learn and comprehend more about the world? Especially due to the start of the film, Bella literally functions like a toddler, so it could be quite jarring to go from that to her slightly understanding more mature concepts. Although, there was a quick note at the beginning that she is developing mentally at a rapid pace, so that could be taken into account. If you consider this more as like a Frankenstein like creature, which is shown more during the middle of the film, in which she can understand certain concepts, but she can't fully articulate them well. It seems less nefarious when she actively chooses to make decisions that obviously should not be made by a non fully developed brain. Although I would consider the idea of how much of someone's decisions are free will if you're not aware of your actions and the potential consequences at the same time. It was definitely an intricately crafted film, all the way from the cast, set design, and editing. I do recommend it. At moments, it can move a bit slow, but it was still a good film. If you've seen it, I'm curious about your thoughts on the film. And if you have a film or TV show you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. Until next time, bye.